y'all. Today I'm going to be showing you my homeschool planner. Let's get into it. First of all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaela. I am a second generation homeschool mom to two girls. We are a Latinx homeschooling family. We're a secular homeschooling family. I hope you'll consider clicking the subscribe button and turning notifications on. Today, I am going to be showing you guys my homeschool planner. So I have the 2021 to 2022 homeschool planner from the Happy Planner. And I'm going to be showing you some of the things that I really like about it, some of the things that maybe they didn't get quite right. And then I'll kind of walk you through some of the changes that I've made to it and how I customize it for my purposes and for our homeschool. So yeah, let's turn the camera around and I'll show you what I mean. So first things first, I'm just going to show you how this planner is designed and how it's laid out. If you're unfamiliar with the Happy Planner system, they use a disc system, which makes it very easy to sort of customize. You can easily pop pages in and out of the discs. They do sell a specific hole punch that works with their discs. So if you wanted to add any custom pages or anything that you have personally designed or printed, you could easily add pages to this, and you can also easily take out pages. So that is a benefit for me. I like that the Happy Planner is easy to customize, especially easy to customize on the fly, right? I don't need to worry about, adding pages only one time. If I'm getting this spiral bound, I can easily just click this in and out. If you are purchasing another planner, you could alter that planner to work with a disc system as well. They do sell sets of these discs by themselves. When you open up to this first page, I am covering my address here. These boxes are kind of an oversight to me. It feels like they just transferred this over directly from their teacher planner. So they do have a section for a room number and a section for school. I don't see how that's applicable to homeschool families. Maybe you can think of something creative to write there. I could not. On the next page, you will find a 2-page year at a glance. So you have the full 12 months for 2021 and the full 12 months for 2022. After this broad year at a glance or years at a glance, you will have a more detailed layout, and this will have every month in its own row with every single day of the month going down vertically. You do get 4 full pages for that. So after that, we open to our monthly spreads, and I will show you how they're laid out, but just right now I'm going to flip through the little tabbed cover pages so that you can see all of the designs that are included. This is an academic calendar, so it's going to run August 2021 to July of 2022. So when you open to a new month, you'll have your tabbed cover page, and then you'll have this sort of introduction to the month page. So it will say hello to that month. It'll give you a place to write down a focus for the month, a place to write down important holidays or birthdays for the month, and it does have any national holidays listed down here for you. And then you have a place for notes that is pretty generous here. When you open that tabbed page, that is where you will find your monthly calendar. On this left-hand side, you will have a to-do list. You will have a place for deadlines, and you will have a place for chores. So let's talk about what I don't love here. I don't love this section for deadlines. I have found a way to use it, and I will talk about that in a little bit, but I just don't feel like this is really applicable to most homeschoolers. I feel like a lot of this was carried over from their teacher planner. I just feel like this is not generally useful. And then same thing with this chores box. I'm not sure exactly why you would only have 3 chores for the entire month. Maybe they're thinking that these are like your top 3 priorities that you have to get done this month. And I guess, I could see some people using it that way. For me personally, this just doesn't make sense. After your monthly calendar, you are going to open to these pages. So you will have a grade tracker page. Again, this is something I don't love. For me, I don't keep track of grades. I live in Texas. I don't have to report grades or do state testing. I can see how some homeschool families do actually need to keep those records depending on where they live. So maybe that would be useful to you. It's not very useful to me. Additionally, even if you were keeping track of grades, I imagine that most homeschool families are keeping track of grades for more than one child. They have only provided 1 grade tracking page per month. So you have a place to write 1 child's name, 1 child's grade level, the year, subjects here, dates here, test or project here, percentage grade here, and letter grade here. I don't see this being particularly useful for most homeschool families. Let me know in the comments below if you use a grade tracking system like this. I'm really curious because I never have. The next pages that you have are actually going to be 2 copies of this same class overview page. So front and back of this page is identical. And the class overview page has an area where you can write subject or class, an area where you can write a description, and an area where you can write details, then a place for important dates, and a place again for deadlines, and down here kind of an open space that's labeled projects. So you have 2 of these per month, and I imagine that, some people might find this useful. Perhaps you're doing a unit study on a certain topic. This would be a great page to keep track of unit studies. I'll show you how I'm using this later on. The last page that you're going to get every single month is a reading list page. And once again, it appears that this page is designed for only 1 child, which is not super ideal, I think. But you do have a spot to write a book title, book author, subject that you're covering by reading that book, and then who read that book. So was it the child that read the book? Was it mom that read the book? Did you read it all together? And I'm basically using this page exactly as it's designed, with the exception that I'm not just naming 1 child. After those pages, you will start to open to your weekly spreads. And again, these are all going to look identical. They are already pre-dated for you, and we do have a vertical layout. Each weekday will have 7 boxes going down, and we have these alternating colors to kind of help us to visually organize things. On the left here, each week you'll have a place for important assignments, a little checklist section that says don't forget, a place for a weekly focus, and a list for activities. And again, we have this numbered 1, 2, 3. I could see how some of those things are actually going to be overlapping, especially if you're using this planner only for homeschool. I don't know that you would have something to jot in every single one of those boxes. Now, if you're the type of person that's totally fine with leaving things blank in your planner, that's not an issue. Another option for you is you could easily relabel these and use them for other things. You could use them for things that are not homeschool related. Each week you will have a section for Saturday and Sunday, and then additionally you'll have a place to jot down notes, and it says notes for the week ahead, but again, you could use this for another purpose. So that is the general layout of the planner. The only other thing is in the back of this planner, we have a full page jotted down section. You could use this for any notes you want to keep track of at all. I'm personally using it for login information and passwords, so that is why I'm covering it up. And then I do have, just with some washi tape in our back cover, which is not very secure, as you can see, I have put in my year at a glance schedule for our breaks. I just print this off of Google. I literally just type into Google academic school year calendar, free printable PDF, whatever. And I just picked one that I liked that came up in the image search results. These were things that I could input at the beginning of the planner in the year at a glance section, but I prefer to have it in a separate page that is a little bit more flimsy because I've already had to change this several times this year. So it's a little bit easier to just kind of toss it and make a new one. So now I'm going to open to what I've kind of been doing so far. I use this introduction page each month pretty much exactly as it was designed. I keep track of birthdays or important dates here. I have a focus for the month or a nice quote or, you know, something positive that I write here that's just kind of going with the vibe of how I'm feeling that month. Now, the way that I use this notes section, I'm actually going to be using that to kind of keep track and review on a month-to-month basis how things went, how things were going. So at the beginning of the month, I will write down my intentions for our homeschool. What am I hoping we will accomplish? What are kind of the overall themes of what we're learning about, or any specific academic goals that we have? And then what I'm hoping to do is to use the bottom half of the notes section to then, when the month is complete, go back and jot down some review notes. Were we able to meet the goals or intentions that we started the month with? If not, why not? How did the month go? How were we feeling? All of that kind of stuff. That is what I'm using this for. Now you will see as I open to my monthly calendar that I am a huge fan of stickers. So I have decorated this a little bit. Okay, so right off the bat, I need to tell you that the way that I use this monthly calendar page, I don't use this for homeschool whatsoever. I am the kind of person that likes to have only one planner to do everything. I want to put all aspects of my life into one planner. I use this monthly spread to actually keep track of work stuff. I'm putting work in bunny ears. This is where I plan my YouTube stuff, my Instagram posts, any sort of content creation work. If I'm doing collabs with other moms on YouTube or Instagram, that is what I will put into this monthly spread. And so it actually works out really well because I can use this deadline section for those things, which makes sense. I do sometimes have deadlines for collabs or review videos that I need to make. I have also covered up the label for chores here. I have not perfected how I'm going to be using this 1, 2, 3 section, but I know it's not going to be for chores, so that is why I covered that up. For my to-do list, I'm using it basically as a to-do list. What are kind of some big things that I would like to do for the month? Some of these are personal things, some of these are videos that I want to record. So then as we go to those next pages, you might remember that this used to be a grade tracker page. I have covered all of that up, the power of washi tape, labels, and stickers. I use this page just for notes. I personally am a huge jot it down person. I like to get all of my ideas out on paper. I mean, this is kind of a hot mess. I have some notes here for a review. I have a shopping list here, and I also have some meal planning ideas here. So this page is kind of a free-for-all. I never know exactly what's going to end up here. This page used to be a class overview page. I have completely changed it. It is now my household management page. And please, y'all, please excuse my horrible handwriting. I never mastered penmanship. I have terrible, terrible penmanship. But you know what? I can read it. and you don't need to read it, so it's fine. So all of these I have covered over with my own labels. I have an overall focus for our household. So maybe that's, it's the season where we need to winterize things, or it's the season where we really need to focus on getting our backyard ready for spring. Whatever that overall focus is, that's what I will write here. As you can see, I have not done that yet for October. That's okay. And then I use this for monthly chores, weekly chores, and I literally just messily hodgepodged this grid together so that I can check off what has gotten done for each week of the month. I have used this little dated checklist area for maintenance. So these are kind of where I will put phone calls I need to make. I will put things we need to purchase for the house that are sort of outside of our normal grocery shopping. That's what I'll put here. And then I'm using this other dated section here for our bills. So I will actually write down when bills are due, and I will check off when they get paid. And then this bottom section I just labeled as miscellaneous. And this is just an area where I can also jot down ideas or thoughts specifically pertaining to what we might need to get done around the house. This is working really well for me. I love being able to have all of this stuff at a glance, and this is stuff that I mostly manage. So God forbid something happens to me. I like the idea that my husband could come to my planner and he could easily see, okay, what's been paid, what hasn't been paid, where are we at with chores, where are we at with appointments. Anything like that goes on this page. Now, this page was also a class overview page. I am kind of using this as it was originally designed. I've relabeled this instead of class overview. I just have an overview, and I am using this for homeschool. So I am kind of jotting down what is an overall unit or theme that we are covering. And then I can write down any details. For this deadlines, I'm actually going to be using this for library books. So I might label over this, but I'm going to be writing down any library books that we get for this theme or this unit study and when they are due back. Important dates. I'm actually going to be using this for field trips and play dates or time that my husband has off, as that might affect our homeschool days. And then projects I will use for projects. If we do any specific crafts or projects, then those will go here. The reading list page, I'm using basically how it's set up. I just put Perez ladies instead of one student. And this is where I'm going to try to keep track of all the books that my daughter reads, the books that we read together. As you can see in my weekly spread, I generally do not leave much open. I am actually using all of these sections over here. I'm using the important assignments for work-related things. So whatever I had from that monthly spread, things that need to be filmed, reviews that need to be done, I can then move those and actually place them in the specific week when I'm going to be doing them. So that is what I'm using this section for. Don't forget, I'm just kind of using that for personal things I need to remember to do, whether that's homeschool related or not. Weekly focus, I am keeping this homeschool related. And then activities, if we do any specific crafts or activities for our homeschool, they will go here. Sometimes this stays blank. I color code everything. So I have a color for group subjects, I have a color for each of my daughters, and I have a color for chores, a color for meals, a color for faith-based activities. So I really jot down every single thing in this planner. And I do tend to plan from behind. Usually this starts off just in pencil, kind of a rough idea of what I would like to do throughout the week. I don't fill in a lot of details at all. And then on the actual day, I will go back in and write down what we did. And that's when I'll do the color coding. And yeah, it just gives me a nice reference to be able to keep track of what we're actually doing rather than over planning, filling this in, and having to cross things out. We didn't do it. We didn't get to it. That gives me a lot of anxiety. It does not make me feel great. So I choose to plan from behind for the most part. I do have a video. It's an older video using an older planner, but I do have a video of kind of my process with planning for the week, and I will put that in the cards and in the description box below in case you missed it and want to see it. I probably need to update that at some point. Over here, we have that notes for the next week section. I don't use it, y'all. I don't use it at all. So what I have done is I actually have a little index card here where I've jotted down sort of a rough idea of what our ideal homeschool day routine would look like, how much time we would spend on each subject or activity. And I just move this with me with a paper clip from week to week. It's not something strict that I stick to, but it's just nice to have as a reference point. If you're interested in a video where you actually see me customize this and see the process of me putting labels and renaming things, let me know in the comments below. I'm not going to do that in this video because I feel like this video is already getting too long. But if you are interested in seeing that process, I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found that to be a little bit helpful. Be sure to drop a comment below and let me know, what is your favorite homeschool planner, or what planner are you using right now? What do you love about it? What have you kind of had to change about it? I would love to hear from you. I will see y'all in the next video. Happy homeschooling.